What's up, y'all? I am back. As you see, I missed y'all yesterday. I missed y'all. Hope y'all missed me. But yeah, we are back for episode 8 of Baddies. I am back from Miami. I just finished rewatching the episode. I watched it last night. Did not get to film it, obviously, because I was not home. I've been home for like 4 hours now, so I just finished Jocelyn's. I'm now about to finish this one. But yeah, I got some thoughts. Funny episode. It was kind of like last week's for me. It was like, but it had some funny moments. It had enough funny moments for me to be excited to talk about it. But as always, I can never start these off without thanking y'all. Because y'all keep doing it. Y'all blowing my mind. 12,000 views on the last video for the last recap. Like I said, y'all got me averaging like 9,000 views a video on this now. I'm going to need that energy for this one because we on Monday. I don't know. We're going to see if y'all get it because I'm not expecting it, which we'll see. But thumbs up the video, y'all. Y'all almost got me 700 likes on this one too. So let's try and shoot for at least 500 likes. Let's try and do that. I know y'all going to be in them comments. I don't have to tell y'all that. I'll meet y'all down there to talk as well. We're not going live tonight because I need to go to sleep. I'm going to go get me some food, get me some crabs after I post this. And I'm going to bed because I got to work in the morning. But yeah, thumbs up the video. If you're new here, please subscribe. Please subscribe. We are on the road to 10K. I think we're at like 6,200 right now. So let's keep that train rolling. Y'all been averaging like 100 subscribers a video. But enough of me rambling. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So we get back to we get to a new scene, which as Movie Bay had said to me in the chat, this was very Love and Hip Hop like. I like how they actually were outside of the house having like a meeting, a brunch, a scene that is outside at a restaurant. So we got Akbar, Jaden, and Natalie. They are pulling up to this Barley's house in Cleveland, and they're talking about Jaden's birthday and everything, her getting her Baddies chain, yada yada yada. Natalie ends up asking Akbar, was she having fun? Like, because when we left Detroit, I could tell that you was frustrated and you seemed frustrated. Akbar said she was having fun, but she in a different space because she's been there and done that with the fighting, essentially. I'm like, okay, considering everything that happens later on, but okay. But Akbar ends up saying that, and she's saying with Biggie, she feels like Biggie is jealous on how the girls are embracing her. I personally don't think she's jealous of you. She might be a little bothered by the fact that those girls felt like that you are a better rapper than her, which is just an insecurity situation. I don't feel like she's jealous of you per se. I feel like she just needs to work on that inner work within herself. She's very insecure. She's very insecure. But I do feel like she's insecure in her space with these girls on the show. That's just really what it comes down to. I stand firm on, I believe she clings to Tasiki and Anna because the first season that those two came on the show, they were the fan favorites for real, for real. I'm talking about Anna and Tasiki. They do have pretty strong bases of fan bases. There's a lot of people that don't like them. There's a lot of people that do like them. But I feel like her clinging to those two, Anna will pop her shit verbally, and she will get in the field. Like, she'll pick and choose, but when it's brought to her, she will fight. And Anna has not really lost. Like, she lost that one round with Nunu at the reunion, but she turned around the next round and still won. And other than that, Anna has not lost a fight on this show. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. And Tasiki, we already know who we dealing with over there. So I feel like she attaches herself to them because she thinks Tasiki's gonna fight her battles, which as we see, it's not gonna happen. And I feel like she low-key thinks that Anna will do the same. So I feel like she clings on to them to make a trio to get that clout that she loves to talk about. She's just trying to find her space in this group, in this group of women on this show. That's what I personally feel. But Akbar ends up saying that even when she threw the purse, her instinct was to punch her in the face, but she saw the fear in Biggie's eyes, which is why she stopped. I said, please, you punked out. You punked out. Like, if anybody throws anything at me and there's hostility already in the air, I'm going to hit you back. I'm going to hit you back. Like, if you're not a kid, you throwing a purse or you throwing something with force like Biggie did, she didn't accidentally do that. She meant to do that. Like, you need to follow up with a punch, which is crazy how you sitting here trying to tell her to defend herself, but you didn't do it yourself. But Akbar ends up saying that she don't know why Biggie is so upset that she's telling her to stand up for herself. Like I just said, follow your own advice. You need to do the same thing. But Natalie also ends up saying that Biggie lately has been talking about the clout after the last 4 seasons, which is true. She did it at the reunion too, which is why she claims she wasn't going to fight J.O. You wasn't going to fight J.O. because you knew you was going to get your ass beat. That's what that was. But Natalie feels like she's trying to get Anna and Tasiki to have her or to back her up, even though they didn't get into the middle of Biggie shit with Jaden. Like I just said, Natalie pretty much just said the same thing I just said. But Akbar was shocked to find out that Biggie and Jaden have fought, because when Natalie said that, Akbar was like, "What? Y'all just did something." And Natalie also then says that she didn't like that Biggie did it on Jaden's birthday. I'm like, but wasn't that the whole point in you trying to have that moment, is to stand on business? It's not Biggie's fault that it just happened to be Jaden's birthday and Jaden threw them flowers at her. Like what's she supposed to do? Like, what is she supposed to do? But Jaden says she's a weirdo and Biggie can't sit with her and she don't like bitches that throw stones and hide their hands. Me either. That is true to Biggie. Like, Biggie does do that type of shit. Like, she likes to talk shit online. Like, and I always bring it up, and I'm going to continue to bring it up whenever it matters. Like how she was talking that shit about Jayla online after they squashed their beef, and Jayla comes to the reunion to press her about it, and then she want to act like she don't want to do nothing. You did that shit. Like, Jayla had every right to address it. But Natalie also then calls, while they're having this conversation, she calls Jayla, who was out with Tasiki and Anna, and apparently Scotty was with them too, but she's still shopping. Jayla looked beautiful in this scene. Like, that girl is a beautiful woman. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about Jayla, but that face card is face carding. Beautiful. But, and I like what she was wearing too. It was very classy. But Natalie ends up asking, like, where they are and who's with them, a.k.a. I hope Biggie's not with y'all because she don't need to be here. But Jayla ends up saying it's just the 3 of them and Scotty is going to join them later. So Natalie invites them, and she also ends up texting Rollie to bring some of the girls from the house and not wanting Biggie to be one of those girls. But we get to the scene with Rollie and Tinka in the room. And Tinka with this makeup, she looked great. She looked great. But she need to put it on them knuckles, put it on them knees, and put it on them elbows. Like, cover that shit up. But they start talking about the ride to Cleveland and everything. And Rollie also ends up mentioning how Biggie had upset her by not standing on business. Like, saying, like, when a bitch steps to you, you need to stand on business. Hello? But Tink also says, like, even if it's not physically, you don't have to fight her. Just verbally defend yourself. It's that simple. That's literally what I've been saying. Because it's like, half the time, you be starting the shit. And then when it's brought to you, you don't want to do nothing about it. But she said, also, ride for those that ride for you. But Biggie and Diamond, they come walking in as they're talking about this. And Diamond had me hollering. The way she came walking in there with that wing looked good. But the way she came strolling in there with that wing, you could tell she was hungover. Had me weak. And her hair was all over the place. Rollie had found a string in her hair, which they thought was a tampon string. Diamond started laughing. She was talking about how drunk she was last night. And she was sitting over there fucking that wing up, just like I was this weekend. But Tink ends up saying how her and Rollie were just talking about Biggie to Biggie. And Rollie says, like, if you're going through something, you can't just use that as an excuse to not defend yourself, because we're all going through some shit. Like, we are going through some shit. And she also used the example, like, look at Tasiki. Even though she's going through the shit that she's going through with her sister, that didn't stop her from defending Anna. Which is true. Like, I could be going through anything. And even if I'm going through something that's traumatic, first of all, I wouldn't even be on the show considering the situation that Biggie is going through. I wouldn't be on the show knowing that the show is based around fighting. But me dealing with something like that, my triggers would be even more heightened, and I would hit you even more. Like, me on a normal day, I'm super calm. But if I'm going through something that's got me stressed out, upset, I'm going to be even more triggered, and I'm probably going to be a lot more liable to hit you than I would in a sober mind. So I get what Rollie's talking about. Some people might not agree. That's fine. You can say it down below, but keep it respectful. But that's how I feel. I agree with her. But Rollie also then says it's a good idea. Maybe it's a good idea to grieve first if you can't handle being here, which is what I said a couple weeks ago. Like, grieve at home. Nobody's saying that what you're going through is not something that you need to deal with, because it is something she needs to deal with. She needs to give herself the time to actually process that. Because and we know it happened in April of this year. And like I said, there's no time frame that you can put on grieving. But if you're still going through something that's still fucking you up and it still could hit you at certain points of the day, I feel like personally you don't need to be on the show right now. I personally don't feel like that. Even though I'm saying that you can't put a timestamp on it, I feel like this show, she needed to take a break. Take a break. Just take a break. One season, you're fine. Like, you good. But Rollie also ends up saying, not Rollie, Biggie ends up claiming that she can handle it, but one thing she can't handle is the weird shit. I said, but you be doing weird shit too. But Tink also says, like, you stood up for yourself with Jaden, and you're the reason why you got the chain. Lies. Jaden got that chain because of her name. That's why she got that chain. Like, she just got it because it was on her birthday. Like, hello? Like, what she did with Biggie was not the reason why she got that chain. But, of course, Biggie is geeked, thinking, oh, my God, like, they think I did this. I got, like, feeding into her ego because that's what she wanted, was to think that X, Y, and Z is getting clout off of her. So they fed into that by saying that. And she's sitting there saying, y'all really think she got it because of me? No, she didn't. But she then gets in her confessional talking about something. Congrats, Jaden. You got it because of me. Because you certainly didn't get it because of the belly button. I said, now, if she comes to that reunion and wants to smash your face in, don't start playing the victim. Don't start playing the victim. And I feel like a lot of people online are falling into Biggie's trap. She wants y'all to play into that victim complex and treat her like a victim so she can continue to run with it. I'm not going to be one of those people to do it. I'm going to always remind y'all, she is trying to play y'all. She's playing this victim role for a reason. Because she do shit like this in the confessionals. Like what we saw with Ivori online this week. How she told Jayla she was coming for her at that reunion. I told y'all when the episode aired that Jayla was going to have to run that with Ivori. Like, I get where Jayla was coming from. Because it is funny. Like, the way she said it was funny. And you can tell she didn't really mean too much by it. But when you saying shit like that, anybody can take it a wrong way, and you dealing with Ivori, somebody who looks for reasons to fight. That's the worst thing you could have said. So Jayla, like I said, I hope she been training. I hope she been training because this bitch is gonna come, and she gonna come harder because she beat Jayla in the round that they ran, but it wasn't as clear. It wasn't clear to me the first time I watched it, but when I rewatched it, it was clear she definitely won. But she didn't do what she wanted to do and what she's known to do. So she's gonna come to that reunion hitting hard like she was hitting with legs. And Jayla, if you doing this, that's gonna be a hard thing for me to cover. Which we also found out too, that she confirmed that Jayla got beat the fuck up later on in the season, had knots and shit, was bleeding. I told y'all, if she keep doing this, it's gonna happen. It was bound to happen, and I'm gonna have to talk about it. And those of y'all that swear I'm biased, you're going to see I'm not. If she gets her ass beat, I'm going to tell y'all she got her ass beat. And it sounds like she did, unfortunately. But we're going to keep it moving. But they moved to the Diamond and Tinkerbella sneaking Paula thing. And Tink says like she kept running her mouth and I didn't say shit to her all day. That was true. But Tink also then says like, I didn't know that Diamond was coming behind her to come hit her. And Diamond said, yeah, I did it because you stuck up for me before. I'm like, well, I mean, it's not right, but I mean, I get it. Like, I get it because she did, because Tink took the fade for her at the beginning of the season. But Rollie feels like they could cool off on Paula because it's getting corny with it being 2-on-1 or tag teaming one person. And I agree with that. I do agree with that. But Rollie then reads the text that she had received from Natalie about bringing Diamond, Tink, Lex, and Jasmine only. And no Biggie. It said no Biggie. Don't bring Biggie to this restaurant. And Biggie's sitting there trying to act like she's not bothered by it. And we all knew she was. Like, come on. We all knew she was. And that's the problem. That's the problem I had with Biggie. I said it a couple seasons ago before she came back for Caribbean thinking that Natalie was going to be cool with her. I said, if you come back to this season thinking that Natalie's going to be cool with you, I'm going to clown you because you're stupid. Because if one person shows you one time that they don't fuck with you, why would you then turn around and think that they would still fuck with you another time? Like, so like Biggie continuing to come back expecting a different Natalie is crazy to me. Because you see how she does Scotty, and that's somebody that's supposedly close to her. But what else? Sorry, y'all. I had something loud going off in the background. But Biggie, she also then says too, like they're not gonna eat anyways. They're just gonna sit and talk shit, and somebody gonna come back with no wig. I started laughing. It was funny because it's true. We all knew it was gonna happen before it happened, and of course it did. But they head off to go get the other girls, and Biggie claims that she's not mad and says, fuck Natalie and Akbar. I said, say that shit to their face. Do that. But we get a scene with Ivori, Paula, and Jasmine outside, and they like the house that they're currently in better than the Detroit house, which we all do. But they talk about Ivori getting her chain. Ivori says that Jaden also got one too. Paula didn't even realize that she got one. Ivori ends up saying, yeah, she got it on her birthday in the club. And Ivori was like, she also got dragged on her birthday. She didn't get dragged. She didn't. Like Biggie just windmilled and threw her body towards her, and she just fell off balance. Like she didn't get dragged. But Ivori also then says that why Biggie only fought Jaden but didn't fight Akbar. I said, talk about it. Not just burn. Sorry, y'all. I said, talk about it. But Paula ends up saying, but Jaden hit her. That's why she fought her back. Crazy thing I'm about to say. This entire episode, I agree with damn near everything Ivori was saying. Everything. And y'all know I don't like her. I don't. And I never will, because it's Team Big Shroom over here. But Ivori says, so what? Like, I mean, I get it, but like, still, like, she was supposed to fight Akbar. You threw that shit at her. I'm like, exactly. But Paula feels like Biggie is just tired of fighting and isn't scared of Akbar. You can't be scared of fighting when you barely fight. And not only that, you only tired of fighting when it comes to people that you don't know if you can beat. You can't tell me otherwise. I believe she knew Jaden was an easier bout for her than Akbar. That's why she did what she did. But Rollie ends up screaming for Jasmine to come to lunch while they're sitting and having this conversation. And you know Ivori's going to be salty about it and was mad, and she was. And Paula and Ivori, they head inside to go get some liquor. This thing right here was funny. Dolly, Summer, and Lex, they sitting here and they turned. All this energy. You could tell security said, okay, we about to turn these cameras on now. Give me that energy. Especially Lex. The way Lex be acting, fan. But they loving the vibes. They loving the energy in Ohio. Summer's talking about how, she was talking about something. I forget what she was saying. But as she was talking, Emma comes walking in with this bonnet on her head. And Summer says, speaking of it, and Emma comes in saying, hey, to the girls. And they say, hey. And Summer says, hey, bitch. So you speaking today? Summer is naturally funny, man. I know people find her annoying, and I see why they do. But for reality TV purposes, she is fucking entertaining. She is literally so entertaining. But Emma says, yes, I am. And Summer says, bitch, you was drunk as fuck last night. And Emma says, that was you. You always picking on me. And as she said that, Summer was laughing. Dolly was like, why are you always saying that she picking on you? And Summer also says in her confessionals that all that Emma does is complain and cry and just be there. Like, you just be there. You don't be doing it. You just be there. She said, and I'm sick of it. Like, bitch, go home. Funny. Ain't it funny how them tables turn? But Emma ends up saying that she always picks on her when the cameras go off, talking about Summer. And Summer says, like, why are you so sensitive? You too sensitive to be a baddie. Like, you on here being too sensitive. Everybody knows I talk shit. And that is true. Everybody does know you talk shit. But Emma ends up saying, but you saying certain shit, and I'm not going to keep whooping a bitch ass. And Dolly ends up saying, ain't nobody going to touch Summer. Emma, she looked over at Dolly when she said that, but she kept looking down. Her energy switched. I don't know if y'all caught it, but it was shifting. And Emma's in her confessional saying, really, bitch? That's the type of time you want? I said, why you didn't say that when she just said that shit to you? Exactly. But Rollie comes in and pulls Lex while they're arguing. And Lex, I'm telling y'all, the more these episodes roll out, the more I'm just like, damn, I can't get with this girl. Like, she is a beautiful girl. Like, that's number one. She is extremely pretty. When it comes to everything but the Jayla stuff and the fan, as Legend says, the fan service, it's cringy to watch. This confessional, she says, and she's acting like a fan. Like, I'm like, just act like you've been somewhere before. She talking about Rollie grabbed me? Why me? What makes me so special? Have some confidence about yourself. Be like, look, yeah, of course I knew I was going. Like, what's up? Like, why do all that? Why do all that? You're here now. You're here with these people. Now, I understand you was a fan of these people, but why are you still acting like a fan on the show? I can't stand that. It's so cringy to me. But Dolly ends up asking Emma why she's so quiet, and Emma is looking down. Like, I'm looking at these notes. Emma is looking down. She will not make eye contact with Dolly, which lets me know she's intimidated by Dolly. Like, it's clear. And she's saying, I'm hungover and I'm drunk every day. Summer says, it seems like this ain't the place for you. Like, you're not a baddie. Dolly and I both started laughing. As soon as Dolly started laughing, I started laughing. And then that song, that Spice song, the tables turn, that started playing in my head. Thoughts of Zeus or Thoughts from Zeus. I keep fucking your damn Instagram name up, but y'all know. It posted it on his page, the tweet, because, you know, Zeus, one of the T pages posts, like, the tweets, the best tweets from the week. And they clipped that Spice song, dying laughing. But Emma ends up saying, like, you've been getting your ass beat, so you're not a baddie either. Like, that don't have nothing to do with anything. You can still be a baddie and get your ass beat. Like, you can still look like a baddie. But Summer also says you don't do shit on or off camera, basically saying like you serve no purpose here. Emma says she's straight. She's like, I'm straight. I'll go home as long as I can say that I whooped your ass. Clown shit. Like, whooping the easiest person to whoop. That's no, you don't get no kudo points for that. But Summer ends up saying, if you and your bitches feel like y'all beat my ass, why are you still mad? I said, exactly. And Emma starts screaming, nobody's mad. I said, it sounds like you are. And Summer says, you're angry. I'm like, exactly. But Ivori comes walking downstairs saying, can one of y'all just slap each other? Like, y'all just sitting here still arguing. Normally, I'm like, I'd much rather them get it out if the dialogue is dialoguing, which it does from Summer's end. But I agree with Ivori. I'm like, at this point, you talking about how you really want to fight somebody. Why have you not fought her yet? Like, why you said you want to go home and say that you beat her ass. Why have you not beat her ass yet? But of course, because Emma wants to show out for Ivori, that battery got put in that back and she gets up, of course. And Dolly immediately gets up and pulls a Tasiki, which is funny. And she chokes Emma because Emma's trying to lunge at Summer. She chokes her. Emma steps back like, hold on, no, you're not about to do this. And it's funny because it's literally what Tasiki did to Dolly in defense of Anna, which Dolly is now doing that in defense of Summer. It's just funny. But Emma ends up hopping over to Dolly saying, like, you're not finna do that. As Dolly is sitting there laughing while taking her jacket off. I know a lot of y'all saying Dolly laughs in these scenes because it's staged. I believe Dolly is laughing in these scenes because Dolly just likes to fight. Like, that's what I believe. And I believe she thinks this shit is funny. And it is funny. And I see why she's doing it because I low-key would be laughing too. If it's not that serious to me and I just like to fight just to fight, I'd be laughing too. Like, that's just really what it is. But they start hair wrestling. Like, you can't even really see what they was doing. But Summer tries to get her licks in on Emma. Ivori had me hollering. Ivori goes over there and grabs Summer by her hair and pulls her over here and says, no, we're not doing that jumping. It was so easy for her to do that, and it just cracked me up. But she ends up saying, Dolly took the fade for you, so back the fuck up. I'm like, I get it. But Emma then gets free, and she ain't got no wig at this point. Looking a mess, boys, because that head is huge. But she comes charging at Summer, swinging, missing, almost hit the damn table. I'm like, that's embarrassing. You can't even hit her, and you had a wide open shot. But Summer, she ended up taking Summer's wig off, and Summer screaming for her wig back. I'm like, I see why you want that wig back. That wig cap that she had on her head, you could tell it's being reused because the tan part is no longer tan. You could see the rest of her hair back here, and it looks crazy. I'm like, Summer, they gave the wrong bitch money, and you got the money. Now go get it. Go get some more wig caps. But Emma ends up talking about how I'm done because I done fucked my finger up. Y'all know she loves talking about that finger. I done fucked my finger up. They just want to keep fighting. I said, excuses. You whining about that finger because you don't want to fight Dolly no more. And then not only that, you started the fight. You let Ivori come out here and put a battery pack in your back, and then you got up to go fight. That's why your finger is hurting. And she's sitting there screaming for that splint again. Summer said you didn't have that same energy before Ivori walked in, and that's the truth. Dolly says, like, she wants some more from Emma. And Emma saying, like, she said, what did she say? She said, I ain't doing it again because my finger hurts and they sitting here jumping. Dolly said, I was just trying to take my robe off and then you did that. Emma says, but you grabbed my neck. Dolly said, yeah, to move you back. I said, same thing that happened with Tasiki, but don't be mad. But Emma ends up claiming that they're jumping her to Ivori, which Summer was trying to jump, but like Dolly was not trying to jump you. Dolly, low-key, I do believe Dolly was trying to push her back, but when it became y'all two, like Dolly wasn't trying to jump in for that. Like if Summer was fighting you, I don't think Dolly. Well, I don't know Dolly like that to say that she wouldn't jump in. So I'm gonna table that. But Dolly tells her to stop sucking Ivori's dick. And Dolly ends up saying also that she did not intend on fighting Emma, but her being inauthentic, essentially, she didn't say that, but that's what she meant. That her being inauthentic and pretty much allowed somebody to put a battery in her back. That's just literally what it was, and that was what it was. But Emma's still sitting there hollering about her finger. Dolly said, then go home. I said, exactly. Like, she's sitting over here with a fucked up hand. Tasiki got a fucked up hand. They're not sitting here still hollering about this finger after they fight, even though Dolly did the last time, but still, she wasn't screaming about it now. But Emma ends up saying too that she beat both of their ass with a fucked up finger. Dolly then tries to charge through security and he's restraining her. And what is she doing again? Laughing. I'd have been laughing too. But Dolly ends up saying, like, you ain't did shit to me, bitch. Like, let's run it again. And told Summer, like, she told Summer too, like, you can say what the fuck you want to say. Fuck these bitches. And Summer was going to say it regardless of what she was like, yeah. And Emma also then said she's confused as to how Dolly and Summer had gotten close. What's the real tea? I said, maybe they spent time getting to know each other. Instead of coming in here trying to create fake beefs with people that don't even know you exist, didn't know you exist. And then you come in talking about some shit that had nothing to do with you. Yes, they were fighting. Dolly questionably for camera time. Summer could be questionably for camera time. But at least they were involved in the situations that they were fighting. And when I say involved, Dolly's issue with Anna, whether it's dragged out, but it's still an issue that she had at them auditions. Summer's issues that she's had were either brought to her or issues that she had at them auditions. You came on the show trying to fight Scotty for no reason. So, fight. Fight now. But she's still crying about that finger, not being able to fight because her hand is fucked up. Ivori said, so what are we doing? Like, your hand's fucked up. Your hand's fucked up. What the fuck are we doing? Y'all gonna fight? Like, what's going on? I agree with her. But of course, Dolly says, I mean, I'll still fight. My hand's fucked up, but I'll still fight. Emma said, I was too. Dolly said, then come on in. Emma says, I keep fighting. I keep fighting y'all. Copping, please. Y'all want to talk about copping, please? That's copping, please. I said, go home. Go home. I was like, at this point, scene finished. I don't even want to see nothing else. I'm like, she is a cornball. But I did watch the rest of it because Dolly comes over there. Y'all gonna call it bullying. Call it what you want to call it, but it was entertaining to me. She went over there and took something and threw it at Emma and ended up hitting her in the head with the cup. That shit cracked me up. I'm sorry, it did. But Emma ends up pump faking like she's going to go do something around security. And the minute Dolly turned around when security was pouncing, she stepped that ass back and did no longer proceed forward. But we get to the next scene. Rollie and her girls, they're on the bus headed to go meet Natalie and the girls. And Rollie's pretty much asking, like, what did y'all expect from the brunch? And does that mean, if she does a mean Natalie impression. That impression was good. But they're expecting mess because it is Natalie, and they're going to do like a group setting, so they know in group settings what happens, mess. So Rollie is immediately thinking that they're going to be, because Tinker ended up asking, like, you don't think we're going to meet some new bitches? Rollie immediately starts thinking it's going to be Slim. She's going to break every bone in her skinny ass neck the moment that she sees her, yada, yada, yada. But she said, I'm also hoping that it's not going to be her here in a restaurant because I would much rather beat her ass at home. Good. Like, if you're going to fight, do it at the house. Don't do it in public. But that's just me in general. I get secondhand embarrassment, like causing scenes in public. Granted, even though I did the last fight that I was in when I was 24, it was in public, but it was in a club, so it's not really as public if you want to. Because the lights was off, even though they had the lights, but the lights was off. But like causing a scene in public, I get, and it's just me in general. Like even if somebody, like a worker, say I was to order food or whatever, and they fucked up my food, I'm not really the type of person to really cause a scene unless you really piss me off. There was one moment where I had ordered Wingstop when I was working early, like 30 minutes before I got off so I could go pick it up. Went over there to go pick it up 30 minutes after I placed it. They were busy. It was on a Friday. And I was like, okay, it's busy on a Friday. I can sit here and hold for 30 minutes. A whole hour rolls around after I have literally asked them, like, what's going on? Y'all still got my order back there? They kept telling me, yeah, they're cooking it. They're cooking it. An hour rolls by. I'm like, what's going on? They asked my name. We don't even have your order. Boy, that's when I acted a fool up in there. But I got my food for free. But that's the only point. But like I said, causing a scene in public, don't do that shit around me. I get embarrassed easily. But she then also, Rollie ends up saying too that Diamond didn't say anything about her child, but that bitch did. She was like, man, fuck your son, yada, yada, yada. You also was talking shit about her. You, from what I remember, was talking about her deceased parent, apparently. Tit for tat. But not only that, you said that Diamond didn't talk about your child, but when you was fighting Diamond, you said that she was talking about your child, even though she wasn't talking about your child. But it's just funny how the tune changed. But she's saying that she'd been beating bitch's ass in front of her son since she was 2 years old. I said, that's a weird flex, but okay. But Diamond also says, like, what if they bring back replacements from last season? And Rollie's like, replacements? And she's like, yeah, like, what if they bring back dirty meat? She didn't say dirty meat. She said meatball, but y'all know dirty meat. Tink said, don't bring up no bitches you don't see around here because that situation is not done. Don't bring her. Leave her off of the show. I don't want to see meatball. But back at the restaurant, It's now time. It's now nighttime at this point because Natalie and them was there when it was light outside. They're inside now and it's dark outside. I said they've been there all day. But Rollie and her crew is arriving. Lex is walking off the bus like the camera is there, knowing that the camera is there. It's like, just act like you've been on TV. But she walks in and says, I want to see what this Baddies is about. I said, ain't you from Ohio? You claim that you was from Cleveland. I know you from Akron. But, like, ain't you from Ohio? Like, but they walk in and greet everybody. Scotty, Jayla, Tasiki, and Anna, they come walking in. Scotty notices immediately there's no food, which at least you know you're not going to get hit by Natalie because Natalie don't like when you order second rounds of food. But she says there's just liquor and tension. I'm like, yeah, that's literally what it is. But Natalie lets them know that Biggie had texted her and was mad about not getting invited. Of course, we knew that. And Natalie, of course, is sitting there acting oblivious like, who was at the house? Basically saying like, I didn't know she was the only one that wasn't at the house. Natalie, shut up. Own it. Own it. Be like the Natalie from back in the day. Own it. Say, yes, I excluded Biggie because I don't like you, bitch. Like, that's just really what it is. But Diamond ends up clocking how Natalie specifically said no Biggie, and Rollie backed the shit up too. But Natalie then says in her confessionals that Biggie wasn't coming over there yapping about nothing. Stay at home. But you yap all the time about nothing. People want to talk about Jayla and speeches. This woman right here, Natalie, she will give all these house meeting speeches that are about nothing. Like, come on. Let's be for real. But Akbar, she then decides that she wants to take this opportunity to address Diamond. Says how Diamond was on the bus putting a battery in Biggie's bag. And also she doesn't like, saying that she doesn't like Akbar, saying that Diamond said that about her. And she thinks that she's better than the rest of them, thinking that Akbar, she's saying that Diamond thinks that Akbar is better than the rest, or Akbar thinks that she's better than the rest of the girls there. That is true. You do. It's clear. But I find it funny how she now wants to get tough because she got this bass in her voice. And Akbar says these bitches want to get clout off the show and think that they Madonna. I said, you don't want to think that you are Beyonce because you be around Nicki Minaj. What's the difference? Like, it's just funny. But Diamond also says, like, I wasn't putting a battery in. Diamond, hilarious. I was not putting a battery in her back. She already had that bitch in there. I was just charging it. Hollered. Everybody in there was laughing and I died laughing. Me and my sister cracked up watching this last night. But Akbar also then says, like, let me tell you why I don't like bitches like you. Diamond said, then tell me then. That's why I love Diamond. She's so quick. Akbar says, because you the type of bitch that has a problem with a bitch, but will boast another bitch to have a problem with me or that bitch that you have an issue with for you. Diamond says, if you feel that way, check in with yourself because the hit dog's gonna holler. I say it all the time, and hit dogs be hollering in my comments whenever I say a hit dog gonna holler. But Diamond also says, I gave you a compliment about your weak ass performance. She said that, and she said the weak ass part in the confessional, but she said I gave you a compliment about your performance. And Akbar had said, yeah, I'm a professional. And Akbar said, yeah, I am. I do that. And Diamond said, all you had to do essentially was say thank you, which is true. Like, I'm giving you a compliment. All you had to do was say thank you. Because when you say, yeah, I'm a professional, it's like, okay, like I still gave you a compliment. You could just say thank you. Like, it's just literally what, like, why is all that? This is how you know I've been talking too much and I'm tired. I'm sitting here stumbling, talking fast. But like, why is all of that needed? Just say thank you. I get where Diamond's coming from, but I wouldn't have had that much of an issue about it. But I mean, she brought that issue to Diamond. Diamond didn't bring it to her. But Diamond, I'm laughing at what I just did. Diamond says that she feels like she was taking shots, saying that she didn't know her until her tooth got knocked out. Akbar then says too, I didn't know who you are. Diamond said that's a lie because you follow me. But they both standing up at this point, and Akbar is swearing that she don't know who Diamond is. If you following her, you know who she is. Stop lying. But Akbar then says, like, what we standing up for? Diamond said, we don't have to stand up. We can sit down. And she sits down, and Akbar is sitting there just pumping it up, acting real hard, like trying to act like she hard now. But she says, you can't out-talk me. You can't out-rap me. You don't look better than me. I said, it sounds like you're threatened by Diamond. Because why are you saying she can't out-talk you? Why are you saying she can't out-rap you? If you ask me from what I've heard from you, she can. She can. You don't look better than me. You're not an ugly woman. You definitely are pretty. But saying that to Diamond, like, I don't think Diamond's ugly either. So, but apparently you feel like she better looking than you. I mean, because why would you say that? But Diamond ends up saying with them, she said with them duffel bag arms that you got. That shit took me out of here. It took me out of here last week in the sneak peek, but I forgot to mention it. But that took me out of here. Akbar said, well, my face card eats yours down. Diamond saying, take off your jacket. She said, take off your jacket. I want to see. Look, y'all see, I ain't got no chicken. Y'all know I work out. But I now got to go back to the gym. I ain't been to the gym in a couple weeks. Not a couple weeks, couple days. It feels like a couple weeks, though. But what else? Akbar ends up talking about how Diamond's ass don't jiggle. They're just going back and forth. Diamond gets up, starts jiggling, making that thing clap. And it was clapping loud. But Diamond ends up saying that she don't want to talk to Q-tips. And Akbar says, well, I don't want to talk to a snaggletooth bitch that's missing a teeth. Missing a teeth. That's what she said. I made sure to mention it. Go back to school. You too worried about everything else but what you need to, and it's that grammar. But Diamond reaches across that counter, reaches across that table to clock her. Security pounces. Akbar is now trying to grab drinks and spits on Diamond. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand it. And you know what? When you think about it, and I'm not saying this, and if I'm saying it allegedly, it makes you look colorless in this situation. Because the way she's talking about Diamond's appearance and stuff, I'm ugly. She basically saying she ugly. My face card is better than yours. Talking about her appearance, how her ass look, yada yada yada, and you spit on her, like it just don't look right. It just don't look right to me. But Diamond, she also then takes off her wig and got some ones on, which we later find out was Tinkerbella's. And Akbar charges at her, and Diamond's saying, wait. I said, Diamond, don't, come on. Even if you're not ready, still swing. But they get broken up. They go another round, and they both are literally using the same form, the same tactic. They got the headlock, and they both swing with their right hand. They both was hitting each other in the face. But everybody's saying the spitting is crazy, which it is. Akbar also then says that she, one thing she don't do is let bitches put their hands on her, and she not return the favor. I said, but Biggie hit you with a bag, and you ain't do shit. Like, come on. But Diamond was sitting there clowning her, calling her a camel with them humps in her backs and on her side. She starts singing, my humps, our lovely lady lumps. But Natalie then lets them know, we got to go. Like, I got a special guest at the house. Come on. Akbar, she's getting walked out by security. Tink ends up giving Diamond her shoes to fight, as I just told you. We find that out. But Emma, she is in a scene in her room, I'm assuming her room or Paula's, and they're in there talking about how Summer and Dolly had tried to jump her. And Paula ends up saying, like, essentially it's every man for themselves. Like, it is true, it is, and she would know. But Emma also then says that Dolly had choked her and pushed her back, and when she was trying to get Summer, she then pounced. She ended up, she said, and then punched her in her shit. She said that she was trying, Emma said that she was trying to get to Summer, but punched Dolly in her shit. I didn't see you punch her, but okay. But she then says that Summer tried to hit her in the head while trying to fight Dolly, which is true. I did see that. But Biggie also then comes in there asking how they feeling or whatever, and they start filling her in. Paula says she feels like how Emma feels how she got jumped, yada, yada, yada. Ivori comes walking in as she's telling the story, saying that I got jumped. Ivori's like, what the fuck is going on? Emma's still repeating everything. Ivori says she didn't get jumped. She didn't. They attempted to, though. That's what she said. They attempted to. I said, exactly. But Biggie also then says, like, none of us are at this brunch. Ivori's like, Rollie came and snatched Jasmine while me and Paula was having a conversation with her. Biggie fills them in on how Natalie had excluded her. And Ivori feels like Natalie left her on purpose. Like, she said, yeah, she left Biggie on purpose. We all knew that. But she's like, essentially, at the end of the day, you can leave her on purpose, but why the fuck you left me? Like, that's what Ivori's thinking. But Biggie also then says, like, they gonna come back with no wigs. That's just really what it is. And it's true, they are. Well, did they come back with no wigs? Somebody did. But regardless, they put it back on. But the point still stands. They had no wigs at that restaurant. But Ivori, and they didn't eat. But Ivori then says that she's ready for them to come back with that energy because she's bored and they head off to go smoke. On the bus, Tasiki, Jayla, Anna, and Scotty, they're talking about damn. Well, not damn. They're not them. Tasiki is saying, damn, Diamond, you got beat up. She didn't get beat up. In the first round, she might have gotten a little amount of hits in, but she didn't get beat up. Like, come on, Tasiki. Like, that, what? I get you don't fool with Diamond, but let's be for real. But Anna ends up saying it wasn't that bad of a beat up. I'm like, yeah, because she didn't get beat up. Jayla ended up saying that. Like, it could have been worse, but it was literally almost a tie. And it essentially was a tie. That's just really what it was. But Tasiki then says, like, yeah, in the second round, Diamond cut up. She did. But we get Diamond on the bus with her girls. And she's saying how her and Akbar had already had internet beef prior to the show. She didn't want to say anything, but when Akbar called her out, she gonna always stand on what she said. We know Diamond to be true. But Diamond said it's not over. Like, it is what it is. We're gonna keep this thing going. But Diamond also then says, like, Akbar calling me a reality TV hoe, but you a reality TV hoe too. Clock it. That part. She said, like, we don't even know you from music. Like, I know when I think of Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Lotto, I think of them from music. When I hear Akbar V, I think of a reality TV bitch. I said, exactly. We only know you from Love and Hip Hop. And you sitting there dick munching off of Nicki Minaj. Like, let's be for real. But Diamond says, like, you sitting here talking about my tooth, yada, yada, yada. Like, do it. You do it then. It was another bitch. Like, why are you sitting here talking about what the next bitch did? Like, you do it. But then we get a scene of Summer and Dolly in the hot tub. I really like this duo. I'm saying it on episode 8. We'll see how long that lasts, but I really like this duo. I love the black on Summer. Dolly looked really, really pretty in this scene. But they lit, they excited, they have good vibes together. Summer don't give a fuck about not being invited to brunch. In this moment, she didn't. But Dolly ends up saying, like, them hoes are scary, go home. Summer agreed. Dolly also then says, like, what's that bitch name? Talking about Emma. And Summer said, Lil E. It cracked me up. And then Dolly's talking about something, that's a grandma name. And then Summer saying, like, who names you, bitch? They just sitting there clowning. But Dolly ends up saying everything about Emma is boring and her energy don't get batty. And they start talking about the battery pack that got loaded in by Ivori, because the whole time they were sitting there, Emma did not really have that energy that she had when Dolly was there. When Ivori got there, that is true. But Dolly also then says, too, that she realized, like, eventually, like, she realized how cool Summer was. And she's not just going to let everybody pile on Summer. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, too. And you should. Because she is entertaining. She would be somebody that I probably would be around in that house just for entertainment. But Summer does start a lot of things. She does. I will say that. I like her. But come on. I'm going to call it spade a spade. She does start. Some of the shit gets brought to her, but she does start some of the other stuff. Like, when she starts picking with Jasmine, she started. Like, let's be for real. When she started picking with P, she low-key kind of started sometimes. But Dolly also then says, like, she got to get ready when Tasiki ready. Like, I got to be ready whenever she's ready. They're not going to run that back. But Dolly also then said, well, they might at the reunion. But she says that she's mad because she really wanted to go to the brunch. And Summer says, like, I did too. I thought she wasn't mad about it. I thought she wasn't mad about it. But Biggie, she ends up getting... Summer ends up saying that Biggie got left off the bed and bougie and she needs to go home. She also says, like, they need to send an OG home. They need to send Biggie home, Emma, Jasmine, and Paula. I agree with the first two. Jasmine, I don't really care if she goes home or not, but I find her entertaining in some moments. Paula is entertaining to me. I call her Paula because, me personally, pretty is not, well, she did look pretty in that sneak peek. I'm gonna tell you that. But normally Paula don't give me pretty. But I'm starting to really like her. I'm starting to warm up to her. Like, the past couple episodes, she's funny to me. She's entertaining to me. Like, she's not boring. So I like her. I would like to see her on the show. But Summer ends up saying, like, she's ready for some replacements. And she ends up saying, too, like, win, lose, or draw, whenever I get in these fights, I got it. But, like, win, lose, or draw, I'm going to still keep talking. And then they say at the same time, oh, my mama. But Natalie, she brings all the girls together for the final scene. I've been on here 43 minutes. I guess it's owed to y'all since I didn't get to drop it yesterday. But Rollie, she got her hair slicked back already. They're all at the house. And Natalie's talking about how, I don't know what's going on in the house because I ain't been here. This is the first season I'm not here. Yeah, that's your choice. But Summer ends up talking about how her, Dolly, and Lex room together. Ivori's right around the corner. Ivori said, no bitch is living with me. Summer also then says that she had to put Emma's ass out because she didn't want to hear that rah-rah shit. Emma claims that she was on the phone talking to her dad when Summer had gotten mad. But Summer says, the problem I got with you is that you're fucking boring and quiet as fuck. Scotty over there like this. That was so funny. And everybody else is laughing. But Emma ends up saying, I can only do so much in a week. I'm sick. I said, funny how them tables have turned because you was doing the same shit to Scotty. Granted, Scotty been on multiple seasons. But, like, come on. Like, you literally came in here picking with her because you thought she was boring, and now they're doing the same thing to you. It's just funny how it all turns around. But Summer ends up saying, too, and because Emma said that I'm sick. Summer says, I'm sick, too, bitch. I'm sick of being sick and tired. I love this girl so much. But Tink also then says, moral of the story is, everybody think Emma is boring. And Summer says she is. And Ivori says, bitch, show them that you're not boring. Summer says, she can't. I started laughing. But Emma also then says, like, what the fuck do y'all want me to do? Ivori says, you fought Scotty for being boring. I said, This is the most I've agreed with Ivori because it's true. But Tinkerbella also agreed, and Emma ends up talking about how she can only do so much in a week, still saying the same shit. Scotty then butts in and says, like, seems like the cast all think that you're boring. I said, get her. And she's, of course, eating it up because she's like, essentially, I didn't want to be the one to do it, looking like a bully, but everybody else agreed, so I love it. But Biggie, she then starts talking to Tink, saying what happened at the brunch since I was excluded. Natalie ends up saying the only reason why I didn't ask you was because I didn't know what was going on with Jaden and Akbar. I said, lie again. You didn't invite her because you don't like her. Just say that shit to her. But Biggie also then, and she knows that though. Biggie, you should know that. But Biggie says that she didn't want to have an issue with Jaden because she's not a fighter, talking about herself, and says that Jaden is a celebrity guest. And so for her to bark at her and throw flowers, and Jaden said, I wasn't barking at you. I was just stating my opinion. You the one that said, so what you want to do? And Biggie also then says, like, it wasn't like that. Jaden said, but you said it. It was. And not only that, you had a tone like you was really tough, Biggie. Like, let's be for real, picking and choosing. But Biggie says, but you hit me, though. Jaden says, but you're bigger than me. Jaden, she's not that much bigger than you. And you got to stop with that. Like, I can't stand when people use that, oh, well, you're bigger than me or you're smaller than me. If you're doing this, big, little, small, you can get hit. I don't care. But they start going back and forth about who charged at who first. The flashback they showed, Biggie was charging. Like Summer said, them flowers charged at you. That's who charged at you. It wasn't Jaden. But Natalie, she ends up saying the real issue is that you weren't standing on business because you threw the bag at Akbar and essentially didn't follow through. And Biggie says that was just an instant reaction because you always speaking about me. And Akbar says, I was only literally telling you to stand up for yourself when somebody tries you, but don't ever think that you can throw something at me. Biggie, if I was Biggie, I would think that I can throw something at you because you didn't do shit when I threw it at you. Like, what you mean? But Natalie also then says, like, I got a guest coming in, and guess who comes walking in with that powdered face? Because that face was white. Slim. She comes walking in, and Rollie immediately gets up and says, come on, let's go. And she start whooping her ass, start beating that ass. And then next week, she got her doing the ring around the Rosie. Jasmine and Summer going at it again. Paula and Tink going at it again. Like I said, Paula looked good in that scene. Her hair looked good. Her makeup looked good. She looked really, really pretty in that scene. Dolly versus Paula. Again, it looked like Dolly was working her again. But that's my recap, y'all. I have finished my work for the day. If you have gotten this far, drop a... Damn, I was going to say it again. I already did it. Drop... What do I want y'all to drop? Drop the arm. Even though that's not the arm that Akbar got. But drop that down below in the chat if you've gotten... Or drop it in the comments if you've gotten this far. Please thumbs up the video if you have not already. Please subscribe if you have not already. We're on the road to 10K. We're on the road to 10K. I want to thank y'all again for rocking with me. Y'all been rocking with me. Those of y'all that have been rocking with me for a long time. Y'all already know how much I love y'all. But the new ones that's coming through, I appreciate y'all with the engagements. I'm going to really appreciate y'all if y'all really do good with this video too. But I will see y'all next week on Sunday. I'm not going live. I told y'all I'm not going live tonight. I got to go to bed. I'm going to go get me some food and then I'm going to bed because I'm tired. Just got back from Miami. And I will see y'all then. Peace.